We begin with breaking news out of New Orleans. CNN has learned that a mass casualty incident has been reported overnight in the French Quarter. We have video coming in just now. You can see the scene right there in the French Quarter in New Orleans. Emergency officials says that early Wednesday, this incident happened on Canal and Bourbon Street. You can see ambulances right there from just overnight in the early morning hours. CNN's working to get further details, and as soon as we get that, we'll bring you updates on that story.
It was around 3:15 this morning where police say that this suspect took an F-150 and started trying to intentionally hit people who were out there. We know 10 people are dead, more than 30 injured. And as you can imagine, we do have some new video into CNN that is very tough to look at. We have blurred some of the images here, but you can see some of the carnage that was left behind.
We've been speaking to witnesses. One witness described seeing bodies on the street and a lot of people getting first aid. Take a listen to the emergency radio call.
Communications to engine 29 and all units heading towards Canal and Bourbon. We're going to move to Fireground Tourists. You're responding to a mass casualty incident. A vehicle ran through a crowd of people. There's multiple injuries, multiple casualties. They need you at Canal and Bourbon.
CNN's Ryan Young and Paula Reed are following the story for us. Ryan, first to you, what more do we know about this investigation?
Well, we know it's developing at this point. Our Evan Perez was able to confirm that suspect is dead. I've been talking to some local folks on the ground there who've been telling me this is an evolving situation. In fact, right now there is a perimeter set up around that suspect's truck. So they're trying to figure out exactly where he came from. But it was around 3:15 this morning where police say that this suspect took an F-150 and started trying to intentionally hit people who were out there.
And we continue to follow this really troubling breaking news out of New Orleans this morning. 10 killed, dozens more injured after a pickup truck drove through Bourbon Street, hitting many, many people. There are still a lot of questions that we have about the suspect behind this, who local law enforcement said also opened fire on at least 2 police officers, striking 2 police officers. Local law enforcement officials said that this suspect went around barricades specifically to get to Bourbon Street and was hell-bent on creating carnage. Now we have a little bit of sound from our affiliate WVUE from a witness from the site. Let's take a listen.
Dude came through with a truck and hit by 4 people and shot by 4 people. It was about 8 to 12.
You say you saw him got out and shoot?
Yeah. Nah, he was in a car. He didn't get out. He already hit him.
Local law enforcement officials emphasizing this was not a DUI situation. This was, I quote, a very intentional act.
We were coming through the intersection, and it all just happened so quickly. But the guy in the pickup truck just punched the gas and mowed over the barricade and hit a pedicab passengers. And there were just bodies and the screams. I mean, you can't think about, unhear that. It was chaos. I remember the screeching and him gunning the car and the impact and the screams. Like I said, the screams of those girls. I mean.
Tell us what you saw.
About 3:05, 3:10 this morning, me and my friend were heading from Lower Bourbon towards Canal. We seen up towards Crystal Burger and all that there was just a lot going on. And so we ducked off into a nightclub real quick. And within 2 minutes of walking in, 4 or 5 girls come running in, push past security and hide under tables. Me and my friend living here, kind of knowing what's what and things that have been on the news, we didn't take any chances. We ran upstairs, to the balcony area that we knew was there. And when we got up there, it wasn't anyone chasing anybody. It was just unimaginable casualty. I mean, just the disfigurement and the bodies strewn, something you can't unsee, you'll never forget. Directly at our feet was definitely a mother, twisted up, obviously deceased. We counted around 8 bodies very quickly, right in our area. One gentleman crushed, had tire tracks across his back. Once they rolled him over, he had tire tracks on his front. He was completely crushed. Another girl, young, small girl, was dancing when we were coming up the street, and she was just completely flat in the middle, dead center mid. Another woman just brutally run over, but still agonizing. I'm certified in CPR and first responder training, and they wouldn't let us help. They locked us all inside, which is understandable, but nobody else was helping. So that was even tougher. But just the fact that these people are somebody's people, and they're not going to be there this morning, it's rough.